Welcome, Suryacitta. Great to see you.
Yeah, how are you?
Thanks for partaking in this podcast. It's great to have you here. We've known each other for 20 plus years, originally through the Friends of the Western Buddhist Order, now the Triratna Sangha. But I've also done some mindfulness teacher training with you over the last decade, which was fantastic. And I have to say that I've always considered you as one of the best teachers I have encountered in the meditation world. I'm really looking forward to exploring your teaching practice in this podcast. I'm sure that this will be of real interest to others who are listening as well. But I've got a warm-up question for you before we get into it. What's one thing bringing you fulfillment right now?
Just being here. Just being here. I'm serious. Just being here and not listening to mind.
Mm,
That's
great.
all. That's all really that's needed.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can stay out of mind
Yeah.
whilst
Mhm.
talking as well.
But when I say,
Um,
you know what I'm talking about, don't you? The blah, the chatter.
mhm.
I'm talking about all that chatter.
The narrator, the
When,
storyteller.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when not listening to that, everything's a blessing.
Mm. I knew you'd start off with something quite profound.
Mm.
Thank you.
Just, yeah.
So, to begin, I'd like to delve into your background, what originally drew you to meditation practices, and how your practice has evolved over the years. But before we do that, it'd be really good to hear about what you are currently doing, and then we'll go back in time.
Hmm. Well, mainly running short retreats. We have a day retreat, weekend retreats. We have an annual 5-day retreat. And I run guided morning meditations on weekdays. And I do non-duality sessions. Most of them are around non-duality. It might have a mindfulness badge on it somewhere, but it's really, and even non-duality is not the right description. It's just, challenging people's views and, why do we suffer? That's what we're looking at all the time. Why do we suffer? Or how do we suffer is
Mhm.
probably more accurate. And all retreats, all meditations are about that. How
Mhm.
do I bring this suffering to an end?
Mhm. Yeah, I'll come back to that when we talk about your
Yeah.
philosophy later. That'll be
Yeah.
really, really interesting. So I wonder if you could go back in time and tell us a bit about where it all started for you and how it's evolved over the years.
Mm. Well, it was in the late 80s. I saw an advertisement in a local library for transcendental meditation. And straight away, interesting. So to cut a long story short, I went along a few weeks later, paid my money, did my ceremony, and it was like, this is it. I thought, I'll do this for the rest of my life,
Mhm.
which I have, but it's changed.
Mhm.
Yeah, the style has changed and my approach has changed. And then I did that. I meditated twice a day for a couple of years. Then met up with you mentioned the Buddhist, the FWBO, Triratna, at Glastonbury in 1993.
Mm.
Just before they were some guys were moving to Newcastle who opened a Buddhist centre. And I went along there and I thought, this is good. This is good stuff. The Buddhists know about meditation. That's what I was interested in. And I moved into a community, and that's what I wanted to do with my life. I want to just dedicate it to meditation. There's more meditation than Buddhism.
Yeah. And was there a particular experience that you had in the early days that just made it click for you?
Yeah, that feeling of what people tend to call oneness with the world,
Mhm.
when the center drops out and there's just oh my God, all this stopped. All the chatter stopped. And it's
Mhm.
like, this is what a human being can feel like. This
Mm.
is what it's like to be without the chatter, without the the storyteller. The
Mm.
storyteller went quiet. And then a few times after that, and I just kept on meditating. There's nothing else I really wanted to do. I asked for ordination, got ordained, and then moved into a retreat centre, which was a wonderful time for 5 years
Mm.
in North Wales. Yeah.
I remember seeing you there. We
Ah,
were kind of place sparring on the lawn because I knew you had a bit of a boxing background. I
all
recall.
right. Got a good
Recall.
memory. Yeah.
I remember having a dream as well, and I told you about it during that retreat, where you were just throwing jewels towards me,
Ah,
which
right.
is a
Okay.
really interesting
It is,
metaphor.
isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was like you were passing on gifts, I think,
yeah,
in some way or other.
yeah.
That's just how it
It's a
came.
nice way of looking at it, actually.
Mm.
Yeah. Because I think that, I think the Dharma is the greatest gift.
Hmm.
Yeah. Not necessarily in its whole form, but when it's appropriate and direct and simple and people can digest it,
Hmm.
it's understandable and relatable for people.
Sure. Just for those who maybe aren't au fait with the kind of Buddhist background, in a few words, how would you describe the Dharma?
Um, well, there's two ways I see it. It's the teaching of the Buddha, but it's also described as truth. It's another word for truth.
Hmm.
And another word for jewel. I think it's a
Mm.
great term. The Dharma is a jewel.
Hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I remember you talking about mindfulness as a jewel, with many facets to it. Maybe we could come back to that metaphor again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you work with metaphors a lot, so this is already getting into that. But I remember you in the
Yeah, yeah.
teacher training that you encouraged us to create our own metaphors and things like that, which has really stuck with me over the time.
Mm.
Just to go back a little bit more in time, was there something that prior to your experience of meditation, you think, and maybe in your earlier years, that kind of kindled something in you?
Yeah. I think when I look back, it was like when I looked around, maybe my family and friends and neighbours and the community, I didn't see much happiness.
Mm.
People are not really happy. I don't think I formulated it in that way
Mhm.
quite then. And could see myself heading for sort of problems. I was getting older. There was busier mind, and oh goodness, what's all this? This constant chatter. And I didn't think it was therapy I needed. It was something else, and that was when I saw the poster in the library, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go. So I just went along, invited a few friends, but they didn't come. So yeah,
Mhm.
sorry they did come, but they didn't sign up.
Mm.
Mm.
Did they sign up later once they'd seen change in you?
I taught them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
That's
I
nice.
taught. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So
It's just made me think that, how when you put something out there like a poster for a meditation course, you do a meditation course for people, the ripple effect that has, like the amount of work you've done, the amount of people you've taught,
mm.
and the amount of people they're teaching. What a fantastic thought that is to
Oh
think
yeah,
how far that will just work its way into the world.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Mm.
Another question: if you could give advice to your beginner self, if at the beginning of your meditation journey, what would it be?
Well, I don't think I'll have been ready for what I was
Hmm.
to offer. Keep it
Hmm.
simple.
Hmm.
Stop trying to get somewhere. It's what I say to the people who are beginning here. That's what I'd say. But I don't think I was ready to hear it. Yeah, keep it simple. There's nowhere to get. There's nothing to attain. And that's difficult for the mind to get.
Mm.
It's hardwired yeah, to move,
Hmm.
to keep moving forward. There's nothing to gain. And that is one of the obstacles to practice.
Hmm.
We think there's something to gain. It's more about losing something.
Mm-hmm. And it's maybe not the mind's work
That's right.
to determine what that is.
No, no.
Mm-hmm.
That's so accurate, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we think it's all about the mind, but it's not.
I guess the word mind in mindfulness doesn't help, I guess.
No, I know. Yeah, it's not a great translation, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I prefer the word presence or being.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was going to bring me to my next question, was how you define mindfulness and meditation. And you talk about it being something beautiful in your teacher's handbook.
Well, I think teaching can be beautiful, but I also think the essence of mindfulness or the essence of the Dharma is beautiful because it relieves suffering. What's more beautiful than that, to relieve someone of suffering? Mental suffering. I'm not talking about pain. Physical pain's a little different. I don't tend to define it these days, Michael. It's more like if someone asks about the taste of an apple, I could describe it or I could just have a bite.
Mm-hmm.
No description necessary. So then with mindfulness, if somebody doesn't quite get it, well, point to, can you feel your contact with the chair? Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the immediacy of what's here right now, the absolute immediacy. But we overlook it. What that? What,
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the seat? Well, isn't it something wonderful and profound? Yes, if we stay there for a while and start to get a taste of the depth of it and just what it really is. But we go there with the mind. Well, that's boring.
Mm-hmm.
So we listen to the mind's interpretation of it. So
It's like we just leap over it. We just leap
yes,
beyond it because we think it's somewhere else to be
yes,
found. Mm-hmm.
yes, yeah. We think it's this big experience. It's already here. What you're looking for is already here.
Do you think you could do a little practice right now to guide people through just for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, let's do it. But first of all, don't try to attain anything. There's nothing to attain. Don't try to change anything. Leave everything unaltered, unchanged, unmodified. Let's just do a simple pointer. Sit quietly. Eyes open or closed. Now I want you to ask yourself quietly inside, and don't answer the question. Who am I without thinking? Stay there. Who am I without thinking? Watch the mind look for something, scurry around. The mind can't know this. The mind arises in this. Who am I before a thought arises? Okay. That's the
Thank you.
directness of it, the immediacy of it, Michael.
Mhm.
And there's nothing more than that. It's a, it's sometimes it's too simple for the mind to get for a while, for the mind to like not get, but like to surrender itself to, yeah, because it's like scurrying around. Well, what is it? This is not much. Yeah.
Paying all that money for.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. But as the Buddha said, some people have little dust in their eyes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think it's a great saying. It's a great term. Some of us are more mind-oriented than others. If you're deeply mind-oriented, I don't mean having a great mind. There's nothing wrong with that. That's brilliant. But I suppose the word is identified. If we're deeply identified with mind, we tend to find it a bit more difficult.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, totally agree with that.
Mm.
And I think a related thing, when I was revisiting your Mindfulness Teacher's Handbook, there was a quote in there from Chogyam Trungpa. Mindfulness is not educational,
Yeah.
which is the mind thing, but it is transformational.
Yes. Wonderful.
Mm.
Wonderful. Yeah.
That's so simple as well, isn't it? As it
Yeah.
kind of encapsulates
Yes.
it, really, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mhm.
And the interesting thing is there, Michael, is how do we transform? We don't transform through effort, through trying. What we're looking for is behind the trying. It's prior to the trying. So we try and we're moving away from what we're looking for.
Mhm.
Moving away from when we're in presence, if you like, that's when the transformation begins. Your world turns. The moment we try, we block it. It is a kind of surrender. A kind of
Mm.
surrender.
Mhm. I came up with my own metaphor. I don't know if this will kind of ring true for you, but it's a bit like picking up a feather, a very light feather off the
Yeah.
ground. You move too quickly towards that, it will blow away from you
Yeah,
because
lovely.
of the movement of your hand. But if you're very gentle, you'll grasp it.
Mm. Yeah, lovely. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. And if you hold it lightly, then you can, oh, look at that.
Mm.
Yeah, lovely. Lovely, Michael. Yeah,
And we don't harm it. It's there. It's present. It's a fascinating thing when you start to really see it.
yeah, yeah.
And you can find contentment there,
Absolutely,
just
yeah.
observing a feather.
Yeah.
Again, it's back to that simplicity you're talking about.
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm. So I know before we did this recording that you came up with a few questions around thinking, and I know we were starting to explore that a little bit. What is a thought, in
Mm.
your view?
Mm. Well, conceptually, it's just energy. But what we've got to see is thinking is not the problem. It's identification. We all have a voice in the head. That voice appears in the voice of me at the moment, of ourself at the moment. It sounds like me. Yeah. And that voice encapsulates everything about you, me. My whole history, all my characteristics, it's me talking in the head. So we believe that thought, that thinking is me. That's the error. It's not. And then we think it's talking to me. And it's not. It's not.
Mhm. Mhm.
And all you have to start to see is just to see that the nature of a thought is there's very little. I'm not saying there's nothing happening. There is some sort of energy there. But it just arises and passes. If we leave it alone, it just arises and passes. It's gone before it arrives. Tch, tch, tch. It's wonderful to see. And it's like all my life, I've taken that to be reality. I've been listening to that all my life, that narration, that the commentator, the storyteller. What if all the internal dialogue turned to a language you don't understand? If you don't understand Chinese or German or Spanish, what if it turned to a language you don't understand? It would be meaningless. Well, that's all. Yeah. One of the most significant things for me was seeing, and still is. Don't do a short exercise, just about 30 seconds, just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. So right now, yourself and the listeners or viewers, just be quiet for a minute and wait for a thought to arrive. And we'll look at something. Might be a thought about the exercise, it doesn't matter. Don't think deliberately. Okay. So presumably you had a thought. Yeah. So did that thought, and the viewers and listeners can do this too, did that thought ask permission to arise? Did it? No. It didn't, did it? No.
No.
Was that thought chosen out of, let's say, a box of other thoughts?
In my case, it wasn't.
No. Was that thought chosen? No. So, if it didn't ask permission, it wasn't chosen, could you have stopped it happening?
I'm kind of like yes and no, because
In your
with a
direct
mindfulness
experience.
practice, if I was grounding myself in my sense experience, I would be likely reducing the possibility of the thought arising in the first place.
Yes. But I'm on about the thought that arose when we were quiet. You look at the thought that's actually happening. The mind can go quiet. I'm not denying that. I want us to look at what's actually happening in the moment. It's the only way I found to really sort of penetrate and to become clear about what's going on. When I looked at the thoughts, they didn't ask permission. They weren't chosen. They just did that. They just, without anything happening on my part, so to speak. And when you start to see that, you start to see that this papancha, we call it in Buddhism, don't we? This sort of momentum of thinking is just happening. And we start to lose interest in it. And that's the blessing, when you lose interest in it.
You're tired of the story.
Yeah.
Takes a lot sometimes for people to get tired of the story, doesn't it?
I know. Yeah. That's why you got to repeat it. Repeat. I'm repetitive in what I do. Just keep repeating. In slightly different ways sometimes, but it's repetitive.
This is lovely because it's also kind of coming to some of the questions I'll have later about your actual teaching practice, but you're also just feeding that in, which is really lovely. I've got a question about Banky, your dog. And I know in your WhatsApp messages and teachings, you often bring Banky in.
Yeah.
What does Banky teach us about being in the world, would you say? And how does Banky influence how you practice, how you teach?
Banky is the border collie, and he's blind. He went blind very quickly in a matter of a day. Well, actually, I was throwing a ball for him. Suddenly, he couldn't see it. That was it. He lost his sight. Took him home. Gainer gave him a biscuit. He couldn't see it. But he wasn't worried. He wasn't fretting. You could see it. There was still joy. Even now, he still runs round the field. I just have to keep my eye on him because there's hay bales in the field. And so it was seeing that it's the stories that do us in. There's no story. He wasn't, I mean, I'm assuming something, but I think we can assume something here. That he wasn't thinking about, oh, I used to have eyes to be able to see. But now I'm blind. He doesn't have words in that way. So he's not blind because he doesn't have the word, which I think is really profound when you think about it. Words are a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong. But words, or the belief in words, the belief in concepts are real, is what causes suffering. So I just saw that, my goodness, there's no story. And the joy of life is not dependent on story, on things going a certain way. The joy of life is the joy of life. It's innate. It's only listening to the self-centered, ego-centered storylines that covers it over. It covers the inherent joy and wonder of life. It covers it over. And so, I throw the ball for him. And he can hear it. He never catches it, rarely catches it anyway. Yeah. But I don't see him giving himself a hard time. Oh, missed it again. Every jump, is fresh and new. And look at that. 10 times, 12 times, 15 times. It's fresh and new. And I think that got me looking at stories even more. It's the stories. Really, it's the stories that do us in.
And we love our stories, don't we?
Yeah.
We love a narrative that ties all the different messy bits of our life together in some kind of form that makes it apparently meaningful.
Yeah.
And then we use the story to try and seek wisdom. Because there is a certain level of
absolutely, yeah,
using words, using language, using story to point towards something, isn't there?
Yeah.
But you let go of, I think it was the philosopher Wittgenstein said something about language. You let go of the ladder.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All we've got is concepts to communicate. But most of us think that the thoughts about people in the world are the people in the world. They're not. Words, as you know, thoughts, words are just pointers, signposts. The word and the thought rain doesn't wet you. You don't need an umbrella. Rain, 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 rain. But we believe when we go partly unconscious, and in a conversation, you're walking through a beautiful park and you find yourself having an argument with the boss and you're by yourself. We think it's really happening. And that's the kind of suffering I'm talking about. This mental and psychological suffering. And this is quite controversial to some people, but it's all made up. Pain isn't, but I'm not saying pain is physical pain, but our mental suffering is made up. It's imagined into being. And you can see that for yourself. Suffer now, suffer, like Banky, suffer without thinking. Be anxious without thinking. That's how direct it is. That's how simple it really is. But we're so into our stories, as you mentioned. We're so into our stories and our concepts. I'm not saying they're not useful. They're absolutely essential for communicating.
But default for many people is self-limiting beliefs.
Yes, absolutely.
I am, creating a new podcast. What will people think of me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I should do that. There was an interesting thing I picked up on a podcast recently was people often put more value on what their friends and family think of them than the thing that they actually really want to do with their life. So they don't do the thing that they really want to do with their life because of a thought.
Yeah. 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 Yes, Michael. Now, can I take us back to the exercise? That self-limiting belief, what would people think? And we're like, there's that withdraw. Oh, what if that can be seen? Did that thought ask permission? No, it just arose. Was it chosen? Well, of course, I wouldn't choose a thought like that. No, who would choose a thought like that? We wouldn't. And then, could it have been stopped? You realise it couldn't. There's just a program. It's like a program, computer program. And the more we see that, the more it starts to weaken and break down. Instead of seeing a thought, we see a truth. That's what we see. Oh, and if we think the thought is true, oh, I don't think I'll do that podcast. It might not work anyway. And then, yeah, all stories.
Totally. But cutting through to that truth.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is again, I'm using language. I would say it's challenging, but what does that suddenly connote?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
it's going to be really hard work.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do meditation. It sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's much easier just to stay semi-unconscious about things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Sometimes in groups where people using the word, one woman was using the word, I'm an anxious person. So I'd had enough. I said to her, okay, you're not allowed to use the word anxious anymore. It's banned. Now, what are you? I'm a person. Now, isn't that different? Stop labeling. It's like we get these little post-its right on the anxious, pin it, pin it, pin it, pin it, pin it. And we stop seeing ourselves, our true self, and see these labels we have. Anxious, no good, useless, whatever they are.
Yeah, somewhere down along the line, we've adopted those beliefs, those labels. Often, I'll give this example, when I'm teaching in a classroom setting. I've done a lot of teaching in various contexts in the past. If I ask people to draw something, half the class are going, I'm no good at art.
Yeah.
And they end up drawing stick people. It's like, it's so limited that they end up drawing stick people. But if they actually drop that and actually give it a go, they might be absolutely fantastic. Or could have been, they could have lived the life of an artist, and had that fulfillment, or a musician, or whatever, a writer, whatever it is. But somewhere down the line, they've decided it's like a finality to it as well. It's like, that's it. I know I'm not that. I'm going to move on, but I'm never going to go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. One of the most useful things I learned to do with thoughts, and we can do it, only takes 20 seconds. Right now, quietly inside, just make it real. Think a negative thought to yourself, one that you would have in real life. Just do for 10 seconds. Okay. So now do it again, but this time before it, we can say, I'm having the thought, ... So if you do it again. That's the difference. It's so simple. The thought is, I'm no good. So it's believed, I'm having the thought I'm no good. It's so different. I got that from Zen, from Charlotte Yoko Beck, a Zen teacher.
Yeah.
It was just so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't somebody show me this when I was 6 or 12, you know?
But like you said earlier, would that teaching have resonated? Would it have penetrated like it does
Absolutely.
when you're an
Yeah.
adult?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I wonder whether you could say something about not just noticing the labels,
Mm.
but actually with practice, you diffuse,
Mm.
you get more distance from those
Mm.
labels.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that
Yeah. Yeah.
resonate?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think, first of all, there's got to be the desire for that. That's got to be in the system. Yeah. That I want to be free from thoughts. Something in me wants to be free, wants freedom. That spark's got to be there. Otherwise, you're not going to do it.
Mhm.
And for me, it's the willingness. It's not about effort. It's the willingness to see. That exercise of 3, the permission, and apply that to them. Apply some very simple. See the thoughts in the light of the truth. Well, did it ask permission? And the more we see this, or I'm having the thought, ... the more that we see, and it's got to be a neutral seeing. It's not a judgment about the thought. That's just another thought, which is what we fall into. Just a neutral noticing. And sometimes we can just use the word, we have a thought, permission. And there's just a knowing, because what's happening, you're bringing the intuition alive. And it's the intuition that learns, that sees, or awareness that sees. It's not the mind that sees, because we're looking at the mind. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're exploring or looking at the mind rather than exploring it. Looking, what the hell's going on here? Why do I suffer? And you start to see, I'm suffering. There's a moment, and I call it the choice of your life. There's a moment when this presence, a thought enters into presence, into awareness, and there's a moment where awareness collapses into the content of thought. The thought's not a problem, it's the content, and the content becomes your world, as in the argument with the boss, and when he or she's not there. And there's that potential for suffering the moment that thought, self-centered thought, enters the world. I'm not talking about practical thinking. That's different.
Mhm.
So as we practice more and more, we stop collapsing into the world of thought. We're looking at it to see what it is. And we look at it, within the blink of an eye, it's gone. So what's been going on all these decades?
Mhm.
Everyone's walking around believing this little me movie, thinking that that's what reality is. And it isn't. And you can't really share it with people.
Mhm.
Let's use the image of the screen here. Or you have a TV screen and you're watching a movie. It's like we are watching a movie all day long, this little movie in the head, so to speak. If somebody asks you what are you watching, you wouldn't say I'm watching a screen, would you? I'm watching a movie. We miss the screen. Someone turns the TV off, the screen's still there. The screen is your awareness, your presence. We miss it because we're so enthralled with the movie. We're so enthralled with it. Oh, God. Oh, this is going to happen. Oh, no. Not that.
Mm. Yeah,
And
how I see that is that thoughts have potential energy.
yes,
The
yes,
moment we feed the thought,
yes,
it grows, it gains some power. But if you're
yeah,
neutral and you observe, you just notice, you're not giving it any energy.
Yeah.
and therefore it'll be like a bubble, just
Mm.
pops like a soap bubble in the air.
Mm. Yeah. Beautiful.
But if you feed it, that soap bubble will get
Yeah.
bigger and bigger,
Yeah.
and sometimes all encompassing. And let's get real with it. Can lead to really tragic consequences.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah. Takes us on rides, Michael. The
mhm,
mind is like a theme park. It takes us on rides.
mhm, mhm,
Ghost train, roller coaster,
mhm,
waltzers.
mhm.
Do you want to go on the ghost train? Yeah. Well, here's a ticket. And so we go on these mental rides.
Mm.
We call them My Life. My Life. We call that My Life. And it's a mental ride.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
When we
just
see it.
reminded me.
Go on. No, go on.
I just remembered a metaphor. I don't know if I made it up or I picked it up from somewhere, but it was a ghost train metaphor. When we're little and naive, we'll go through the ghost train and things will jump out at us and we'll be like really like shocked by it. It's just like events in life that happen to us. But if we were to happen to have the wisdom and the presence to get off the train a little bit, go and explore that thing that's scaring us. Take off the cover, look behind it. You'll see a whole host of mechanisms. And then you look further and you realize there's nothing really to it.
Yeah.
We've just built this narrative around this thing that makes it scary to us. Ultimately, the reality of it is actually it's just a set of conditions coming together, meeting our mind in some way to
Yeah. Yeah.
make us
Absolutely.
reactive like that.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah. A little bit of exploration,
mhm,
a little bit of investigation. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, that word investigation encapsulates mindfulness quite well, doesn't it? You're not relying on other people, other narratives, news, whatever it is, to tell us what it is. You have to investigate that for ourselves.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's the pointing that I think you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Hmm. Lovely. I'd like to orientate the discussion more towards your teaching practice more explicitly, if possible. And I was wondering about your influences. Were there any kind of particular teachers or experiences that you haven't mentioned that led you to want to teach, role models or anything like that that kind of inspired you?
Not to teach in the first place. No, that was quite
Mm.
organic.
Uh-huh.
It just, I didn't realize I could teach at all. I had no idea. I just started, you were probably around in Newcastle at the time, just
Uh-huh.
started guiding meditations and I given it a short talk. And somehow at some point I realized that, I can do this, you know? Yeah.
Mhm.
Once I started teaching, the biggest influence was a woman called Charlotte Yoko Beck.
Uh-huh.
When I came across her stuff, she's dead now. She's written 2 books. She just took out all the packaging, all the stuffing, and just so simple, so direct, so elegant. And that's when I realized teaching can be elegant. And to be elegant, you need to leave things out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's all right. Don't stuff your teaching with lots of unnecessary stuff. Keep it simple, direct, and elegant and practical.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it was Charlotte Joker Beck mainly, and there was a line that I remember. She said, she described meditation as simply this, just being here. And she said, if you think you're beyond this, well, you can think you're beyond it.
Uh-huh.
And just that's the confidence of this woman.
Uh-huh.
She's leading you right back to your own experience. And that's what I do with people. I just put them back into their own experience.
Uh-huh.
And that does it. That does the work.
Mm. Yeah, that's really come across in the teaching that I've experienced with you is that simplicity. and reminding ourselves about that simplicity, because it can get a bit conceptual.
Well, I think there's a view, and I think it happens with sort of relatively new teachers, Michael, is that if I give people lots of information, I'll feel safe. I've done my job. The approach that I prefer is I don't want to give people lots of information. That just feeds the mind.
Mhm.
If the mind, oh, I know what mindfulness is, that's
Mm.
it. It's blocked now.
Mm.
It's not to do with the mind. We need some information, don't get me wrong, just to orient ourselves. Yeah.
Mhm.
But for me, it's just another teacher, Sailor Bob Adamson. He used to say that peace of mind is not in the mind. And first of all, I said, what does he mean? What does he mean? Yeah, it's not in the mind. It's letting the mind do its thing, but not getting involved with it. And it's possible.
Mm. Yep. That word mind keeps coming up, doesn't it? It's kind of muddying the water. um, yeah. In your book about Teacher's Handbook, you talk about reading the book with your heart, your intuition, and not with your head. And not having everything explained means that we can grow into understanding. Does this reflect what you're saying here? As people sitting making notes and, stuff to guide them. No
Yeah.
need to make any notes, but
No.
yeah.
No. No. We've got this idea that it's about information. I get the right information, enough information, then that's it. And then we're still left with, where I'm still locked in my mind. I'm still anxious. I'm still afraid. I'm still this. I'm still that. See, that doesn't touch.
Uh,
It doesn't touch the fears and the anxieties and see, for me, that what it was with teaching mindfulness in that way, this is where it blends into non-duality for me,
mm.
is that no matter how much mindfulness you do, and I'm doing that because I don't know what mindfulness is anymore. I don't know what it
Just a
is.
word.
Yeah, it is. And it's like there's still somebody there practicing meditation and mindfulness, where true meditation and mindfulness is about the meditator. You turn it around. Who or what is this meditator? That's where you go.
Mhm,
Not after some state,
mhm,
because everything comes and goes. Nothing
mhm.
lasts.
And if you get beyond the conceptual, all there is a flow
Yes.
of
Yes.
sensations,
Yeah.
awareness.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no division.
That's right. And that's the freedom.
Mhm. So it's that pointing, isn't it? Keep pointing to that awareness, that
Yes.
non-duality.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And deconstructing the world of duality, which is all it is created by concepts. It's a cage of concepts. That's the
Mhm,
me. That's the self, is a cage of concepts. And that's what I'm pointing to all the time.
mhm.
And I find it thrilling. I really do find it thrilling.
To do the
This is,
pointing.
yeah.
Mhm,
Because you mentioned jewels earlier. It's like giving jewels out. Not that I'm giving jewels out. I don't mean to say it's like that, but it's just sharing the Buddha's message,
mhm,
the essence of his message.
mhm.
And just sometimes people, oh,
Mhm.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
That landed, didn't it? Ah,
The Aborigines have a word apparently for mind that's like seen as like a net.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me of that metaphor of the jewels, that if you throw in them jewels to people, it's too busy trying to capture them in their net of the
Yeah.
mind.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
when
look.
they let go
Yeah.
of the net and just live with the uncertainty of the absorption of those teachings in some way or other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't try and fix them down
No.
or remember them even.
No.
They'll they'll somehow work their way through you
Yeah.
if you just
Yeah.
let it be.
Yeah. No, that's great, Michael. I like that. The net.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah. And don't even try to remember what's been said. Yeah. Get back to present moment experiencing.
Mhm. I just wonder if I could just say a little bit about how you keep yourself motivated. Do you do a lot of retreats? Do you?
Not so much nowadays.
Mhm.
I sometimes go look after people's dogs in their houses or their cats.
Mhm.
So I'll do that for a long weekend or 5 days,
Mm.
and I'm spending time alone. I might do a little bit more meditation, but no, it's its own motivation, Michael.
Mm.
It's its own motivation. Sometimes I might be a bit tired and
Mhm.
a bit resistant to doing a session if I've done too much. If I've been over busy, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I wonder if, it's become integrated. It's so integrated that it's just your life is practice.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
to make life practice is what it's about. We spoke earlier about Joko Beck saying that every mosquito, every fly, every critical comment, every
Mhm.
red light is the practice. When I heard that, that was like there's my neck stood on end. It's like I got goosebumps. Oh, God, this is it. It's not
Mhm.
trying to reach the top of the mountain
Mm.
where enlightenment exists. When I've purified myself and I'm ethically so pure, yeah, people can see through me. I live on brown rice a day and a bit of cucumber. It's not like that.
Mhm.
Everything, the latest headache is the practice.
Mhm.
And the reason I say that, Michael, I think one of the most useful metaphors, and I'm sure you might use it yourself, you come across it years ago, is the two arrows or the two
Mhm.
daggers.
Mhm.
That's it. It's all in there.
Mm.
It's all in there. Yeah. Crap
Yeah.
happens to us. That's the first dagger. We can't help that. It's going to happen. But then we get the second dagger and stab ourselves with all our stories.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can't remember who came up with the line. I don't know if it was Yoko Beck, but it's the wisdom of no escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Buddha said, then you can go anywhere in the world, go up a mountain, hide yourself away from the world.
Oh,
You'll still bring yourself to that experience. But if you accept that there's no escape and you accept everything and everything's practice, you can practice anywhere.
yeah.
And everything is food for practice.
Yes.
Everything is abundant as well. Everything, you've just got abundance right under your nose all the time, but we
Yeah.
just don't see it.
Absolutely. We don't, do we? No.
Mhm.
These core beliefs we have, that's what often in teaching we're dealing with core beliefs.
Mhm.
Like life is hard. It's a core belief.
Mhm.
Where's the evidence?
Mhm.
If it's a, if for me, the thought we believe is the experience we will get. It follows.
Mhm.
So I believe life is hard, so that's what I'm going to get.
Mhm.
Yeah, and follows. There's the thought, and there's what's it? That's what I'm going to get. Yeah.
I was practicing this morning. I was driving along and I was just looking at the color of the traffic lights and the traffic and the greens and the reds reflected in the water on the road. And it just looked beautiful. If I think a grey day is not a nice day, I'm just going to experience not a nice day. Not a good way to set your day up.
No,
First
no,
thing
not
you
at
do in
all.
the morning, oh,
No.
what a dreadful day. So you soon just jumped into a set of beliefs and a mindset that will color the day. Hmm. I wonder if we could move a little bit more towards the actual practical aspects of your teaching. You'll encounter things like resistance, perhaps, skepticism, disengagement. How do you handle some of those things? I know you've mentioned about pointing and asking questions back. Are there other things that you do to
Well,
deal
it
with that?
depends on the individual. If I think there is still some receptivity there, or a certain degree of openness to another point of view or to teaching, then I'll challenge. But sometimes, if I don't think there is, I won't bother.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my job.
Mm-hmm.
Not my job to force open someone who doesn't want to. I'll just talk to people who are, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But stopping people dead sometimes. It's like just to, what's happening now? What's happening there in the belly or the? And you just stop people. He says, "Oh, I'm feeling anxious." Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Gosh, you're in this big story again. Yeah. Just pointing to that equals this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The story is the fuel,
Mm-hmm.
and this is more fuel for the story to loop.
Mm-hmm.
Pointing out the loops,
Mm-hmm.
because self-centered thinking is a loop.
Mm-hmm.
Functional practical thinking are bridges. They create something or solve something. But self-centered thinking is just that loop. Blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, 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 blah. Oh! Just pointing that out.
Mm-hmm. What's the energy underpinning the thought?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go to the energy.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Yeah.
You often refer to that saying, feel it to heal it. Does that mean that you focus quite a lot on the somatic aspects of practice? You get people more in their bodies, so to speak, further down into their bodies, away from the metaphor of the head and the mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my teachers, Sailor Bob Adamson, he used to say to people, he could tell, get out of there. What are you doing up there? What are you doing there? Brilliant.
Take some confidence to say that to somebody, I think. No, that's a good one. Do you intuit it, or do you think there are visible clues
Sometimes
that
you're
you
visible.
notice
Yeah.
when, as a teacher, you try to stay aware of body language?
People look up.
Oh, that. Mm-hmm.
That's for me. That's the so you lead people into just being present and they're looking of trying to work out presence, uh, uh, but they're often looking up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes you just sense that somebody's rattling away inside.
Mm-hmm. The eyebrows are knitted,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What about the way you approach preparation for retreats and for teaching? Do you do a lot of planning? Do you think about structure and spontaneity, and do you try to have some kind of balance with that? I mean, do you just sketch a few ideas out?
No, it's not like that, Michael. I'm responding to questions. I'm responding to the group. That's what it's about. I don't have any preconceived ideas of how I want something to go.
Mhm.
You know, somebody asks a question about anxiety. I respond to that, and I might give different responses to different people.
Mhm.
That's in a teacher training. I don't know whether you remember. That's where we used to talk about intuitive, letting intuition inform how
Mhm.
you teach. So it is more intuitive in that way.
Mhm.
And it's more exciting because you don't know what's going to
Mm.
come. You don't
Mm.
know what
Mhm.
people are going to ask.
In a state of responsiveness,
Yeah,
presence,
yeah,
working with what's in the room, not what you think might come into the room.
yeah, yeah.
But do you still think, well, actually, I'm doing this retreat. I want them to have this experience. We're going to go for a walk to the park, or I'm just going to leave them be for a couple of
Oh,
hours
something
or
like that.
whatever. Do
Yeah.
you do all that kind of
Or
prepare
something.
some readings, that kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that I might do, Michael.
Mm,
If I think we've been sitting for too long, guys, go
mm,
out and meditate in the sunshine, or go for a walk in the park if you want to. And yeah,
mhm,
yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah,
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Thanks for that. You've given us a real sense of how you teach, I think. Um, I think you've talked about misconceptions about mindfulness quite a lot here already. Is there anything else you could say on that?
Mm. It's it's not really about the mind. It's what I said at the beginning. You know, if you look at your own experience without thinking, what's missing? What needs to change?
Uh-huh,
There's nothing else we need to get.
uh-huh,
It's actually a falling away. It's a losing of something.
uh-huh. Unconditioning or
Yes.
unlearning.
Yeah.
Uh-huh,
Even that.
uh-huh,
See, the most enlightened person in the world still has conditioning.
uh-huh,
They're not. It's not their identity anymore.
uh-huh,
This body will always have conditioning,
uh-huh,
have a personality and characteristics, and might be more introverted than
uh-huh,
another person. But I prefer the term self-realized. Realize their
uh-huh,
true nature. Realize it's not who they essentially are.
uh-huh,
There's something else. And I'm going to use two words here, which might infinite being.
uh-huh,
That's what we are. We're infinite being.
uh-huh,
But the mind, what are you talking about?
uh-huh. Yeah, from a conceptual point of view, it kind of just, what on earth is that?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, it kind of reminds me of how you use language in different contexts with different people that you teach. Because I know you've worked in organizations and you have to soften that
yeah.
language for some people anyway.
Sometimes, Michael.
Hmm.
No, I agree. I
Yeah.
do use slightly different terminology,
Hmm.
but sometimes it's just these two people who are here. I'll be okay with this.
Yeah.
You might just throw it in.
Hmm.
Just say, oh, you know what, whatever, or
Mm.
not. Sometimes,
Hmm.
yeah, it just depends.
Yeah. See, one of my main jobs as a mindfulness teacher is as a kind of translator of a lot of these teachings. What does that actually mean in our experience now in everyday life? Check it out for yourself or investigate that for yourself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes. That was the Buddha's point. Ehe passiko, come and see for yourself.
Hmm.
Everyone, you've got to do this for yourself. Come and see whether
Hmm.
not my, but the Buddha was saying this. Come see
Hmm.
whether my teachings are real, are true.
Hmm. It's not
Try.
saying believe in these teachings. This is the truth.
Mm,
This is what I offer. Test it out in your own experience. Well,
yeah.
hmm
Mm.
do you keep note of any trends within this field? And as a question to add to that, do you envision a kind of future where meditation and mindfulness can have a different status or an impact on the world?
My sense is that there is two things are going on. There's a density, a more and more identification with mind. Look at identity. It's a big
Mhm,
thing. Yeah. And I think it's a recipe for unhappiness. But whilst that's happening, I sense a greater openness to something else, something greater than us. I don't
mhm,
mean God, I'm not talking about, but
mhm,
just there's just something about ourself that's not caught up with it all. Because awareness, presence, is not caught up with mind.
mhm,
All that's caught up with mind is mind.
mhm.
Yeah. All those stories, it's just two thoughts arguing with each other,
Mhm.
firing off.
Yeah. Obviously, with technology, people have access to so many teachings now, don't they? Podcasts, guided meditations. Do you think that's playing a role in
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
influencing
Yeah.
this kind of change?
Are people going to listen to your podcasts on
Mhm.
YouTube or Apple Podcasts and
Mhm.
Spotify? Yeah. Oh, and that might plant seeds. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
think you're a great opportunity, Michael, to
Mhm.
plant seeds.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. Got some quick fire questions just to go into the final part of this podcast. Do you have a favorite poem or reading? I know you've mentioned Charlotte Yoker Beck, but are there any
Be Charlotte
readings or
Joker
poems?
back. Yeah. Be
Mhm.
just something very simple.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Just a few lines, that's all she does. Just
Mhm.
elegant, direct. I love it. Beautiful.
Mm. Now, there's a quote: "When the student is ready, the teacher appears." Do you agree?
Um, I, I suppose I see it slightly differently.
Mhm.
What's guiding us is the intuition, and that guides us where we need to be, where we need to go, what we need to learn next, the lesson we need next, or whatever it is. Yeah. So it's the guidance of the intuition.
Mhm.
The intuition's listening.
Mhm. And how do we hear the intuition? Is it silence?
It
Does it need
helps.
meditation?
It helps. Yeah. In my
Mhm.
view, anyway, it helps. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone considering becoming a teacher of meditation?
I'm not sure how they do this, whether it's possible, but I would just say learn to keep it simple. For me, that's the art, really. Keep it
Mhm.
simple. Keep it relatable. Don't put too much stuff in. Be willing to leave stuff out.
Mhm.
Be happy, be comfortable in silence. Be comfortable with not knowing. Be comfortable with not pleasing your students. Don't take responsibility for your students. If they don't have a good time, it's not your responsibility. And that's
Mhm.
a difficult one.
Mhm.
But you can still care like mad for them, but not take responsibility for how they are.
Mhm. Last question. If a student looked back, one of your students, participants looked back in 20 years, what do you think they would say about you?
He cared about what he was doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be it.
Wonderful. Where can people find out more about your work?
The website, mindfulnessunleashed.com.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Suryacitta. It's been
And
an
thank you,
absolute
Michael.
joy.
Yeah,
So many insights there. I'm sure listeners will take a lot from what you've said. So yeah, pleasure. Thanks a lot.
thank you, Michael.